Today on Dirt Nation Off-Road, the wait is finally over. We just got news. The 2024 Toyota Tacoma is coming out very soon. Let's take a look at Toyota's press release, all the details of the truck, and get you all up to date with the current information. Let's get started. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to an episode of Dirt Nation Off-Road. So today what we're going to be going over is some Dirt Nation news. We got the 2024 Toyota Tacoma just launched. So we have Toyota's press release right here. This is, I really haven't seen much. I've seen a couple photos and just, the stats that are displayed right here. Other than that, this is all new to me. So we're going over it together, seeing things for the first time, and giving our thoughts and feedback as a third-gen Tacoma owner. So this truck is going to be the fourth-gen Tacoma. This is coming out for 2024. I don't know if there's a release date yet. I don't know prices. Like I said, I am just diving into this the very first time. I just saw this a couple minutes ago, literally turned on the camera. I was busy editing videos that we're going to be releasing later this week. But for now, we're going to be working on this video, giving you guys the up-to-date info because honestly, I'm pretty excited about the new Tacoma, even though probably not going to buy it. I might, to be honest, I might. But, in order to do that, I would have to sell 1, 2, or 3, or 4 vehicles in order to get that vehicle. We'd have to see down the line, but shut up, Dustin. Stop rambling. Let's talk about the new Tacoma. We're going to dive in. This is a press release directly from Toyota. So we got a couple photos. We got some stuff. We got trim models. We got a lot of fun things to run through. So let's get started. 2024 Toyota Tacoma is the ultimate adventure machine. Let's see if that's the case. So we have a photo here of, this is the top line model. First couple bullet points, standard iForce turbocharged 2.4 4-cylinder engine produces up to 278 horsepower, 317 foot-pounds of torque. And then you have an available iForce Max turbocharged 4-liter, 4-liter 4-cylinder hybrid powertrain, produces 326 horsepower, 365 feet of torque. All new Trail Hunter is a factory-developed overlanding built rig from the ground up with the latest integrated off-road equipment from ARB, Old Man Emu, and Rigid. Okay. Baja-inspired TRD Pro debuts segment first isodynamic performance seat for enhanced off-road driving control and comfort. Interesting. That's interesting with the seats. We'll have to see about that. Tacoma adds new extra cab long bed configuration for enhanced interior functionality and cargo capacity. Pretty interesting. 14-inch touchscreen display, latest Toyota audio multimedia system. We'll see if they updated to the 21st century. That'd be very interesting because the third gen media is kind of crappy. Anyways, Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, ill, 3-point slow, standard on all models, designed, engineered, and assembled in North America, USA for the win. Let's get it. Okay, Kona, Hawaii, May 18th, 2023. After nearly 2 decades as a champion of midsize, Toyota Tacoma is ready for its next chapter. The Go Anywhere truck is entirely for 2024 with epic adventures in mind, improving upon the winning aspect of the main truck buyers, the legendary quality, durability, reliability, blah, 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 blah. This is the F Global Truck platform shared with the Tundra and the Sequoia. So all new is designed when engineered in the U.S. market. Fourth generation utilizes high-strength boxed ladder steel frame. Hey, box frame, look at that. That's cool. No more C-channel. Was tired of that shit. I'm starting to bend mine and probably crack it. So seeing a boxed frame come back is interesting. Are we going to get rusty ones in the future? We'll have to see. Steel ladder frame adds numerous features that our off-road enthusiasts can play with. Features an available, fully redesigned, multi-link real coil suspension. Oh, we're ditching leaf springs. Okay. Then improves ride and handling. Offers 2 powerful and efficient supercharged 4-cylinder powertrains, including a top-of-the-line iForce hybrid producing 326, blah, blah, blah. We already talked about that. Also introduces a new Trail Hunter grade, first revealed in 222. SEMA shows a Trail Hunter concept is purpose-built off-roading rig for overlanding, available right off the dealer. It looks like we're not going to get a 6-cylinder, which I'm not surprised because they eliminated the V8 for Tundras, so it makes sense that they would eliminate the V6 for the Tacoma. So it is what it is. Kind of shitty. I don't want to see just a 4-cylinder in the truck, but that's just what it's going to be. Obviously, you're getting a power increase with the 4-cylinder because it's turbocharged and, you're getting more torque and all that stuff. That's all great and all, but we want V6s because reliability. Toyota's traditionally made very, very good V6 engines except for the 3.0, but they've been great V6 engines, so, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it looks like they decided to fix it. The all-new 2024 Tacoma will go on sale later this year, with the iForce Max models arriving in early 2024. Manufacturer's redemption retail pricing will be announced closer to the on-sales date. So we're not getting prices today. But I'm expecting a big price increase. I'm gonna guess we can. So it's May 18th, 2023. Mark my words. The base model truck is gonna be at least $35,000, which is what I bought my TRD Off-Road, which is nearly the top of the line, 3rd gen Tacoma. I bought it brand new for $34,000 because they played on the price a little bit. I bet you the base model is going to be $35,000, which is going to be ridiculous, but we'll have to see. So we got a photo of all the Tacomas there. Looks good, cool stuff. Designed and developed, driven by Tacomaness. Okay, let's see what that means. Toyota's North American-based Calty Design Center, located in Newport Beach, California, Ann Arbor, Michigan, led the design efforts for the new Tacoma. As they did with the Tundra Sequoia they launched last year. Our primary design goal for the Tacoma is blah, 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 blah. Tacoma look referred to as Tacomaness. Now, I will say, looking at the new Tacoma, just looks. Let's just talk about looks, because I'm going to cut away from the article for a second and just talk to you about looks. It looks very Tacoma. I'm happy that the front end didn't get much bigger. The grille looks like it might be even a little bit smaller. And if that's the case, I'm very happy about that. Our chin got a little bit bigger. The on the bottom, you know, the piece that always breaks off on the 3rd gens, that piece looks like it got a little bit bigger. I'm not too happy with the fenders. They flared them out. It looks a lot like a damn Chevy. I don't know why they got a real freaking hard on for the new Chevy Silverados, but that is what that section of the truck looks like to me. Fender flares got much bulgier. Those are going to get ripped off on rocks. You guys know how it is. You know, the front end, it doesn't look too bad. It looks very similar to the 5th gen 4Runner, to be honest. It's like a combination of the 5th gen 4Runner and the new Tundras, but it didn't get such a big mouth like the new Tundras. And then, just like I said, it's just Silverado. It more Silverado-ness than Tacoma-ness, but we'll have to see with the features. But just talking about the looks, I like it, but I also don't like it. It'll probably grow on me in the future. You know, it's gotten it's going back to a more square body-ish design rather than a rounded design like the 3rd gens were. So I'm curious how that'll grow on me in the future. First look, I like it, but I also don't like it. Let's continue. So, engineering, research, development conducted by Toyota Technos, Michigan, Arizona, California. I'm just gonna critical think my way through all this crap and see if there's any cool stuff that you guys would be interested in. Looks like luxurious night in a limited grade, traversing Black Bear Pass, and the Tacoma TRD Off-Road is more capable than ever. So it looks like they may have ran Black Bear Pass in one of these already, which is pretty cool. We got some quotes here. We strove to provide even greater attribute separation between grades, says Sheldon Brown, chief engineer of the Tacoma. Each has a distinctive focus on the core attribute and uses hardware specs and performance based on tuning to deliver that unique experience more so than in the past. I can appreciate the fact that they're putting more effort into, you know, being more distinctive or more separation between the different trim levels, because before it didn't make any sense to buy anything except for the TRD Off-Road. If you wanted to off-road, if you wanted a nice, good, solid truck, it didn't make any sense to buy anything else besides the TRD Off-Road. The TRD Pro just gave you some suspension and wheels and upgraded interior, which you probably could have upgraded on the TRD Off-Road as it is. You probably could have got leather seats and all that shit. And then the TRD Sport is cool. You know, if you didn't really need an off-road one, you could go with the TRD Sport. You get the cool, you know, the cool hood with the what's that thing? The Ram Assist Air or whatever the hell it's called. Anyways, my point is, there wasn't a lot of differences between all the trim levels, so I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of differences we're looking at now. It looks like they're going for a, you know, each one has a specific, you know, type of off-roading that one will be good for, each trim level, you know, much like the Bronco. You know, we kind of saw that with that. We have the Badlands is for this, and then the Wild Track for that, and then the whatever the hell it's called. We'll have to see. It looks like the TRD Pro is more Baja oriented. Trail Hunter is going to be more overlanding, so maybe TRD Off-Road is going to be rock crawling. I highly doubt it, but we'll have to see. Rugged construction and capability. The new Toyota Tacoma utilizes Toyota's TNGA-F global truck platform shared with the all-new Tundra and Sequoia. We already saw that. High-strength steel and blanketing laser welds used to cut the chassis, rigidity, blah, 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 over the previous generation. Luminas used the upper body to reduce weight. New front cross members constructed for a steer gearbox. Interesting. Well, I'll tell you right now, I bent the crap out of my cross members, so if I'm hearing a new front cross member that is specifically meant to be much stronger, I like the sound of that. New high lift jack point is also integrated in the rear frame. I like that. That's a good idea, because especially if you don't have, there's not a lot of good ways to jack up the Tacoma. There's a couple good ways, but most of the time, once you lift it, and if you don't have a high lift jack, it kind of sucks. Also enhancing ride and handling characteristics on Tacoma is a newly available multi-link rear suspension. This system replaces the previous model's leaf springs in favor of a set of coils. However, leaf springs remain on the standard SR, SR5, Extra Cab, and TRD pre-runner grades. Okay, so there's still going to be leaf springs for the lower models, I guess we'll call it. And also pointing out, TRD pre-runner, they're bringing back the pre-runner. That was something that was on the first and second gens. I'm guessing it's just going to be a two-wheel drive option, but it looks like they're bringing it back. Tacoma also now gets four-wheel disc brakes. Praise Jesus! For increasing brake performance compared to the previous model, while TRD Pro models and above are equipped with a larger front brake package, TRD models and above equipped with iForce Max add a larger rear brake package, and electronic parking brake allows for low speed radar cruise control and brake hold function. Not a fan of that. So they're getting rid of the actual stick, e-brake. I was a big fan of that. It's always nice to have electronic parking brake, whatever. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it's something that works for a long time, but they're adding more electronics to the vehicle, which is more fail points. And when it's not mechanical, when you have a mechanical fail point, you're way more likely to be able to fix it yourself, and probably fix it yourself much cheaper than if it was electronics, because you throw electronics in there. First of all, electronics are more expensive than mechanical parts. Also, electronics, sometimes when you remove them, you have to reset codes. You have to do all this other stuff that requires a scanner or maybe some proprietary dealer bullshit that a lot of us aren't going to want to deal with. So I'm not a fan of the electronic brake, but it is what it is. To provide improved steering and facilitate incorporated additional safety and convenience features, now have electronic power steering. So I don't know what that means. Does that mean there's no power steering fluid? I'm guessing there is, but electronic power steering. I wonder how that's going to be. Toyota, the old school Tacoma steering racks are kind of weak, so if this improves it, I'm a fan. Tacoma now features suspension tuned specifically for each grade. For instance, TRD Sport has red TRD Sport tuned shocks for more responsive feel. TRD Off-Road is equipped with more monotube Bilstein remote reservoir shocks for extended wheel travel and greater heat dissipation, and includes a end-stop control valve ESCV that provides increased dampening and forces suspension to come down closer to full bound stroke. The TRD Pro comes fitted with Fox's new QS3 three-way adjustable internal bypass shocks with remote reservoirs for improved high-speed off-road performance, and Fox internal float piston, blah, 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 blah. Pretty much fancy new shocks from Fox. Very nice. Trail Hunter is going to come with Old Man Emu OME 4x4 suspension by ARB that is tuned for optimal levels of off-road control and load carrying capacity. Limited features a new adaptive variable suspension system that constantly adjusts dampening and forces based on road conditions. The linear solenoid AVS system features built-in actuators in the front and rear shock absorbers to continuously change dampening and force based on road conditions to give the Tacoma a smooth and luxurious ride. That's interesting. On one hand, I like it because more tech, more cool things, all of that stuff. But back to my, they're eliminating, mechanical parts here, and they're adding more solenoids, electronics, all that stuff that has the possibility of failing. You do water crossings, you do all that stuff. Once those parts start failing, what's going to happen with your shock once it fails? Are you going to have a regular shock at that point, or are you going to have something that's just going to be like a fucking limp wiener and it's not going to do anything to where you really need to replace it right away? So I'm definitely curious about that. Also, I'm curious about, so TRD Pro comes with Fox shocks. The Trail Hunter, which is, I'm guessing, supposed to be the top of the line model, is coming with an Old Man Emu suspension. I've always felt like Fox might be a little bit better suspension, more high quality suspension, especially when, you know, you have, adjustable valving and all that stuff. So I'm curious on the differences between the two. ARB, it looks like it's going to be more focused on the weight ratings and being able to carry a lot of weight and be good with that. So I'm curious about that. Now, like I had mentioned before, previous TRD Pro models came with Fox suspension, but most of us pulled that off anyways because you want to lift up the truck, you want to throw, bigger coils, bigger lift, and then, be able to throw bigger tires and do all that stuff. So if this suspension is good enough to where you don't need to replace it right away, then good. If not, then we're back to where we were before, where buy a TRD off-road and just, run with it. So we'll have to see. Okay, maximum towing capacity for the Tacoma is rated at 6,500 pounds, so it didn't lose any. It's the same as the 3rd Gen Tacoma. On SR5 iForce and TRD pre-runner extra cab grades, the maximum payload increases to 1,700 pounds on TRD off-road. To help make towing a breeze, Tacoma is available with a variety of supporting features such as trailer brake controller, which the 3rd Gen has, trailer backup guidance, aids in overall maneuvering of trailers, while available straight path assistance features designed to help your truck and trailer back up in a straight line, blah, 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 blah. To make things even easier for truck duty, there's a 7% increase in bed volume that is useful for loading unnecessary gear under a available tonneau cover. Additionally, aluminum tailgate features an available power open and close function with jam protection, which is pretty cool. So you have aluminum tailgate, and then you have auto open and close features, which is pretty cool. Quick release and close button is integrated to either tail light. Gas grade offers available 400 watt AC inverter outlet on the bed. And then the iForce Max, which is the hybrid, comes with a 2400 AC inverter, which is pretty cool. I mean, it makes sense. Electronic, it's going to have more powerful stuff with the battery and everything. So 12-volt DC power access is also available both in bed and inside the cab. I love it. I like hearing that. Trail Hunter features integrated high output air compressor in the bed for airing large diameter tires, back up quickly, and airing down for spending days or weeks on the trail. That's pretty cool. So I wonder kind of AirB air compressor. That's actually pretty cool. I like hearing that. Got a photo here of the engine. That is, that's a lot of vacuum lines. It reminds me of a BMW. Or actually reminds me of the new Bronco, to be honest. I remember when we looked at Rob's new Bronco, there was a ton of vacuum lines and a lot of shit going on there where you're just like, if this ever breaks, I don't know what I'm doing. Next section, taking Tacoma to the max. Tacoma will offer 2 powerful and efficient powertrains using the 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder for entry-level SR grades. This engine produces 228 horsepower, 243 foot-pounds of torque. All other grades output increases to 278 and 317 on torque. When paired with the new 8-speed electronically controlled automatic transmission with ECT. Hey, we're keeping ECT. That's pretty cool. 8-speed transmission. That's pretty cool. Adding 2 more gears. I would like to see 10, to be honest, but hey, we're getting 8, so no problems there. Enthusiasts rejoice! A 6-speed intelligent manual transmission with automatic rev matching and anti-stall technology is available. Hell yeah! So, we're keeping the manual transmission. I like hearing that. Manual transmission models produce 270 horsepower with 310 foot-pounds of torque. New to the mid-size body-on-frame pickup segment is Tacoma's iForce Max Hybrid powertrain, the most powerful powertrain ever offered on Tacoma. Available on TRD Sport, TRD Off-Road, Limited, Standard, the TRD Pro, Trailer, and Trail Hunter Halo models. The iForce Max pairs the 2.4 engine with a 48 horsepower electric motor, integrated to the 8-speed transmission, feeding off a 1.7 kilowatt hour battery pack that creates a total system output of 326 horsepower with a whopping 365 feet-pounds of torque, nearly doubling the torque output from the current gen truck with a V6 engine. That's true. When equipped with the iForce Max, Tacoma can ascend 8% interstate grade without need to downshift, making long road trips more pleasant than ever in the Tacoma. Fuel economy estimates for all powertrains will be announced closer to the on-sales date. So, Pretty interesting. The iForce is pretty much the same engine, but they're just adding a hybrid motor to it. We'll just have to see, won't we? We'll just have to see. You know, this is going to be a common theme. I like it because we're pushing the envelope. We're continuing to do new tech. We're trying new things. But I have my concerns with the new tech and the reliability that is going to be long-term on these trucks, you know. Third-gen Tacomas, we've already seen them. They last 200, 300,000 miles, you know, much like previous Tacomas. Are these going to be that good? Time will tell, but I currently question it. You know, they're continuing to increase horsepower with less, you know, cylinders and more electronic stuff. Yes, it's more fuel efficient and they're increasing efficiency and all that stuff. Those are all good things. I just question it. I always question it because that's what somebody should. As I mentioned before, it sucks that the Tacoma is losing the V6, but it is what it is. I'm glad I have one of the last like true off-road trucks or true like Toyota trucks, because the third gen Tacoma is much like all the other previous trucks. They added some tech, but the engine, the transmission, the transfer case, a lot of that stuff is still older school technology that just been updated and renovated here and there. It's looking like this is pushing the envelope enough to where, hey, my dinosaur truck is still pretty good, and I'm happy with it. But we'll have to see how it goes. Tacomas with rear-wheel drive feature automatic limited slip differentials. Four-wheel drive models also have electronic controlled 2-speed transfer case with high-low range, along with active traction control, so A-track. Also an automatic limited slip differential, auto LSD, and electronic locking rear differential standard on the Pre-Runner, TRD Off-Road, TRD Pro, and Trail Hunter grades. The new and luxurious limited grade now features a full-time four-wheel drive system with center locking differential on iForce Max models. Well, looks like we're not getting a freaking front locker. How? Okay. How? Unless it's on the Trail Hunter, I might be jumping ahead here, but how are you going to be paired up with ARB, have a bunch of ARB and fucking all this shit on the truck, but not have a front locker? One of these should have had a front locker. I'm actually pretty damn disappointed. You know, they're adding a lot of cool stuff to the truck, but the one thing that is going to keep us up with Jeeps, keep us up with Broncos, ZR2s, is a front locker. And they're not adding it here. Let's keep reading. Maybe I'm wrong. Ultimate Adventure Machine. Tacoma's legendary off-road capability is taken to the next level for its new generation, making the ultimate adventure machine, blah, blah, blah. All new available front stabilizer, bar disconnect, increases flex at the push of a button. So we have electronic disconnecting front sway bar, so you don't have to pull it off right away, which is pretty cool. With the front sway bar disconnected, Tacoma's articulation increases by 10% compared to the previous gen truck. The electronic stabilizer bar disconnect will even be compatible with Toyota approved lift kits. I wonder what's going to be Toyota approved though. That's the key. Okay, Tacoma has a 33.8 degree approach, 23.5 breakover, and 25.7 degree departure angles. That's on the TRD Pro with the tow package. Running ground clearance puts at about 11 inches on the TRD Pro, and with tons of available cameras installed on the new Tacoma, TRD Off-Road, TRD Pro, Trail Hunter, drivers can view potential obstacles that are looming on the trail via the multi-terrain monitor that can display crispy with a 14-inch touchscreen. So a 14-inch touchscreen is pretty nice. I think we previously had like a 7 or an 8-inch. It was a crappy touchscreen on the third gen. So seeing a 14-inch, that's a lot bigger. That's pretty much like as close to an iPad. Actually bigger than an iPad. That's pretty cool. For the sketchiest of situations, Tacoma offers a standard front and optional rear recovery hooks and underbody protection. I'm curious how much of that underbody protection is protecting. If they give you full skids, transfer case, you know, transmission, all of that stuff, that'd be really cool. Typically they give you like a fucking little tin one for the engine that bends real quick. So we'll have to see about the underbody protection. Multi-terrain select, so that's MTS, which is now functional in both four-wheel drive high and four-wheel drive low, offers adjustable settings to help control wheel spin and a variety of, terrain such as mud, dirt, sand, blah, blah, blah. Tacoma's also adopts a new significantly quieter crawl function that acts as low-speed off-road cruise control that allows the driver to focus on steering while system maintains one of 5 selectable speeds. So we're continuing with crawl control. Sounds like it's going to be a quieter version because crawl control is loud. I'm going to be honest. It's pretty loud, but at this point, you know, your truck's loud when you do a bunch of other stuff to it. So I didn't mind, but quieter crawl control, and it looks like you have 5 different speeds. I think we had 5 different speeds before, but I'm guessing there'll be some other improvements along the way with it. When traction is extremely limited, the available electronically activated locking rear differential can help split power 50-50 to the rear wheels. Downhill assist control is another off-road feature available and helps the driver navigate descents by limiting the speed of the vehicle. Manual equipped Tacomas get a standard clutch start cancel that allows the truck to start in gear, which means the driver doesn't have to press the clutch when facing a challenging off-road driving scenes when starting. That's pretty cool. So on the 88 pickup and a lot of the older Toyotas, you can start it in gear, and if you have a doubler, you can actually crawl an obstacle as you're starting in. So I like that. But, as I was saying, no front locker. Disappointing. Toyota, shame on you. All-new Trailhunter. Go far. Tacoma introduces the all-new Trailhunter grade to the lineup of rugged Toyota trucks. Toyota has long been the top choice for overlanders due to its legendary quality and durability, reliability. Now enthusiasts can get a factory-developed overlander straight from Toyota to help bring Trailhunter to life. Toyota worked with renowned Australian-based ARB to co-develop the Old Man Emu suspension or position-sensitive 2.5 forged monotube shocks with rear external piggyback-style remote reservoirs, also a steel rear bumper, robust recovery points, utility bed bar with removable mole panels. ARB even worked on site at Toyota alongside the project development team with either a 5 or 6 foot double cab configurations available. Serious overlanders can take the Trailhunters to the next level. Available light or heavy duty versions of a full ARB bed rack to support additional gear such as rooftop tents, canopies, or a camp shower. Overlanding shenanigans, cool. You know, some people will take advantage of that and just buy the truck and then go overlanding right away. OME shocks along with the 33-inch Goodyear Territory RT, so it's a rugged terrain tire to boost up the Trailhunter, an additional 2 inches in the front and 1.5 inches in the rear. So starting off with the 33-inch tire, pretty cool. High clearance trail exhaust tip, also standard, along with a low profile, high mount. Trailhunter air intake was routed up in the passenger side, A-pillar to a snorkel. Trailhunter protection includes rock rails and a multitude of hot stamped high strength skid plates for serious off-road adventure capabilities straight from the factory. So if it's high strength, good steel skid plates, I like the sound of that. I'm also curious about the rock rails. Are they going to be body mounted or are they going to be frame mounted? Body mounted will get you, by in a lot of situations, especially with overlanding, but you're going to need some frame mounted ones if you're going to do some serious stuff. So I'm curious about that. Trailhunter is also equipped with the bronze colored Toyota Heritage inspired grille with an integrated 20-inch light bar. 20-inch light bar in the grille is pretty cool. Complemented by white, yellow color stitched rigid LED fog lamps. Lighting in the Trailhunter's bed is triangulated to help avoid dark spots. Integrated bed side lights come to illuminate the area surrounding the bed. Blah, 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 blah. Power, we talked about the AC inverter. We got the 12 volt. USB can also be found on other devices such as ARB fridge freezer. Trailhunter comes with pre-wired accessories with 3 auxiliary toggle switches in the dashboard. That's pretty cool that they have some auxiliary switches. I do like seeing that. For customers to customize their Trailhunter exactly the way they want straight from Toyota's participating dealerships. The AAP ecosystem will continue to evolve over time. Includes 100 accessories such as off-road recovery gear, rack attachments, brackets, storage brackets for storage gear, outdoor sporting equipment carriers, and more. These products will be conveniently rolled out into customers' monthly payments, and they aren't exclusive to Trailhunter either, making accessorizing Tacoma through Toyota easier than ever. So they're going to be offering some more stuff. I like it, but also it's probably all coming at a high markup because that's just what that's what Toyota does. That's what all dealerships do. So cool that you can get all this extra stuff and build it into your plan when you're buying your vehicle. So I'm curious. You can get probably one of these Tacomas fully tricked out, and it's going to be $90,000, which is freaking ridiculous, but that's how it's going to be. TRD Pro, go fast. While Trail Hunter is specifically developed for off-the-grid overlanding adventures, Tacoma TRD Pro elevates its proven go fast desert running attributes for its newest generation. Red aluminum front TRD upper control arms, optimized by front geometry to reduce unsprung weight, while Fox internal bypass 2.5, manual blah 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 blah, mono 2 blah 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 blah. Pretty much Fox shocks with adjustable dampening or adjustments for valving and all that stuff, much like you see on other suspensions. So cool stuff. Looks like it has 3 different settings on the dials, built in with the new multi-link rear suspension, Fox internal floating piston, IP pump stops. So yeah, so I have Fox bump stops, which help knock some of the edge off the gnarliest terrain. For more of a menacing stance than ever, the TRD Pro sits 2 inches higher in the front and 1.5 inches in the rear, and is 3 inches wider than the Tacoma SR5. Cool. TRD Pro also gets a high clearance ARB rear metal bumper with red recovery hooks and a aluminum TRD front skid plate. So that's much like the current TRD Pro. It came with the aluminum front skid plate, which is a lot better than the thin metal one. So more of the same, but also some upgrades to the TRD Pro. You know, we have rigid lights, we have some other cool stuff, you know, 33-inch tires, dual exhaust. I don't think we had a dual exhaust before. It sits a little higher and a little wider than what we're used to on the truck. So all cool stuff. Debuting exclusively on the new TRD Pro is the segment first isodynamic performance seat that helps with a smooth, confidence-inspiring ride for those in the driver and front passenger seats. The goal of this patent-pending feature is to stabilize the driver's field of vision to improve focus, comfort, and reduce fatigue while on rugged trails. The isodynamic performance seat uses air over oil shock absorber systems while allowing for vertical and lateral seat movement simultaneously to dampen body movement and stabilize the head and neck to keep alignment with the spine. This dampening effect is tunable based on body mass. Good. So it's good for fat asses, hopefully. Occupant preference can be bypassed if desired via levers and on the seat belts. That's pretty interesting. I'm curious how that's going to work out, especially when you start like getting these trucks on, you know, some of us really use our trucks. So we'll get them sideways, you know, is the fucking seat going to go like this so you're sitting straight up? I'm curious what kind of things we're going to see from these seats, and I'm curious how much testing has gone into them to see, like, under different situations, what are we going to see happen with these seats. But this is more of what you see on like luxury cars. If you drive like new Mercedes, new freaking BMWs, they all have these features where you turn left and the seat will like hug you a little bit, you know, it'll hug you real tight, or if you know, it'll like adjust the thing so that it supports your neck and all this other stuff. So fancy schmancy stuff, which is, you know, pretty cool. New tech. Hopefully it works well, but it's cool to see some new stuff to try out and test out, and we'll see what happens with it. All the latest tech inside. All new Tacoma is filled with the latest technology and information. Screens that bring significant updates to the cabin. 8-inch or available 14-inch multimedia touchscreens display latest audio multimedia system debated in 2022 Tundra pickup is designed, engineered by Toyota's Texas-based connected bunch of technological terms. Let me tell you what you want to hear. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. We have a wireless charging pad, which is normal. USB Type-C data charging port. Now, it's better to have USB Type-C rather than a regular USB, so that's good to see. Dual USB charging ports are included in the front row, available for the rear passengers. And then you have a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster with 4 different styles, such as standard on high grades with a 7-inch gauge cluster is standard on lower grades. It sounds like if you're getting a lower model, I don't know what the cutoff is, you get a 7-inch cluster with an 8-inch multimedia screen, and then you can get a 14-inch screen with a 12.3-inch cluster on the higher end models. So there's a photo of the interior right there. Interior doesn't look too bad. I'm guessing this might be the Trail Hunter, but it looks very Tacoma-ish. Got a lot of buttons, big screens. It looks updated, and also looks like there's a passenger handle on there, which is pretty cool. And then we don't see any e-brake, which is very strange, but you know, they have an electronic ear brake. For those who love to jam out both in their truck and on their way to camp, Tacoma now offers a premium 10-speaker JBL audio upgrade, which The new externally coupled subwoofer improved for blah, 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 blah. So there's a JBL portable speaker built in that is docked into the dash. So the JBL Flex charges, operates the center control speaker. When undocked, the JBL Flex portable Bluetooth speaker can run for up to 6 hours paired with other Toyota JBL portable speakers. They can be submerged in 3 feet of water. That's pretty cool, including a JBL freaking, Bluetooth speaker that mounts onto the dash. That's really cool. I'd like to see how it's mounted into the vehicle to see if it's like something that's obvious or is it something that's kind of integrated very well. You can't really see it on the photo, but I like that. That's pretty cool. Tacoma will be offered in numerous grades and configurations for its new generation. 2 cab styles are available with either a 5 or 6 foot bed, so similar to what we've had before, a 4-door double cab, and a new 2-door extra cab with clever storage features behind the 2 front seats. Extra cab available on SR, SR5, TRD pre-runner grades is all about maximum utility and comes exclusively with seating for 2, a functional rear cabin storage area, and a 6-foot bed. This configuration has no rear doors and no rear seat, but makes the most of the cabin with all kinds of additional storage options. Lockable storage on the rear floor is useful for storing things like small packs, toolboxes, tackle box. Locking storage on the back panel can store things like shovels and fishing poles and guns. Quick access to the rear storage is aided by a long slide driver's seat with slide memory. Additionally, the rear passenger can fold flat and can be used as a workspace and includes a water bottle holder. Cool! And there's our extra cab. Not too shabby. It actually doesn't look bad. It's pretty cool. In terms of grades, Tacoma is available in SR, SR5, TRD Pre-Runner, TRD Sport, TRD Off-Road, Limited, TRD Pro, and Trail Hunter. Yikes, that's a lot. Returning for 2024, TRD Pre-Runner is available in the extra cab configuration with 2-wheel drive only, has lifted front suspension, larger diameter BF Goodrich all-terrain tires, and electronically locking rear differential. For a sportier look and feel, TRD Sport gets a 18-inch black TRD wheels, color key door handles and over fenders, hood scoop, black exterior badging, and aluminum pedals. The TRD off-road grade is more capable than ever thanks to new Bilstein remote reservoir monotube shocks for better heat dissipation and available front stabilizer bar disconnect system. They came with Bilsteins before, but it has a disconnecting sway bar in the front, so that's cool for the TRD off-road. Limited grade offers more sophisticated than ever luxurious interior and standard tech, including power retractable side steps, head-up display, 14-inch touchscreen, JBL, digital rear-view mirror, and a power sunroof, and smooth riding adaptive variable suspension, so that fancy suspension, and full-time four-wheel drive on the iForce Max equipped models. Trail Hunter is also new for 2024 and offers a well-equipped overlanding rig that's adventure ready right from the dealer. So the colors, they're going to come with Supersonic Red, Blue Crush Metallic, Underground, Wind Chill Pearl, Solar Octane, Celestial Silver, Metallic, Black, Ice Cap, and Bronze Oxide. Toyota's Safety Sense 3.0 standard on all Tacomas. So Toyota's suite of activity, safety, and convenience systems, TSS enhancements made possibility of sensors improve detection capability, blah, blah, blah. Pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, lane department alert with steering assist, full speed range dynamic radar cruise control, lane tracking assist, road sign assist, automatic high beams, and proactive driving assist. So this is where my concerns lie. They launched some of this stuff on the 3rd gen Tacoma and it sucked. It really sucked for a lot of people because it started having some issues when you get it dirty, when you get it wet, and it ends up affecting a wide range of different things on the vehicle because you start messing with one electronic and messes with other stuff. So I hope a lot of this gets cleaned up and that these things work well when you modify the vehicle. Because yes, I know technically you're not supposed to modify your vehicle, but tell that to the millions of people out there that buy vehicles and then don't keep them stock. So, if these aren't designed properly, or if they're not designed with a little bit of variation in mind, that's where my concern lies. So hopefully you're able to, change your bumpers, you're able to change your grille, and all those things that people are going to want to change, and you're not going to run into issues. Warranty is standard across the board. Toyota's 36 month, 36,000 mile basic Then they have powertrain up to 60,000 miles in 60 months with hybrid components, blah, blah, blah. They have up to 8 years, 100,000 miles. And then they have the hybrid batteries covered for 10 years, 150,000 miles, whatever comes first. It's transferable across ownership. Yada, yada, yada. And I think that's the end. So about Toyota, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Wow. The new 2024 Tacoma. What are my thoughts? I don't know. We'll have to see. I like it, but there's also some things about it that I don't like. Now I'll say the things that I do like so far about the new Tacoma is I like the fact that we're getting coil sprung suspension. We're getting that updated. Leaf springs are cool, and I've always been a leaf spring guy, but to update the suspension to have something that might ride a little better, also give this a possibility of being able to link the vehicle and maybe get some more travel out of the rear is a nice option. We're keeping the manual transmission. We're getting more power to the engine, although I am not a fan of a 4-cylinder turbo engine. You know, I like that for maybe lower models. I would have liked to see a V6, maybe with a small turbo. You know, I would have liked to see something like that as an option for like the TRD off-road, but we're not getting that. And then other things that I do like some of the technological updates on the vehicle. We're adding some cool features, adding some cool stuff. I like that there's a bunch of different options, you know, starting from the SR all the way up to the Trail Hunter, so you can pick the right Tacoma for you. I'm curious how much of a difference things are going to be in terms of price. Toyotas have always been known for their budget-friendly price, but they're also workhorse vehicles that are freaking reliable. You can beat the crap out of them. They're easy and cheap to work on and all of that fun stuff. I'm curious how that's going to look in the future. We have a bunch of different models to work with. So is the SR going to be a cheap vehicle so that if somebody is buying this to be their work truck, daily driver, or maybe a first vehicle for a kid, or maybe your first vehicle that you're picking up as a young person, is it going to be affordable or is it going to be way too damn expensive? We'll have to see. And then getting all the way up to the fully built, you know, TRD Off-Road, TRD Pros, and TRD, you know, the Trail Hunter series. I like seeing some new options. I like seeing that people can pick up a vehicle stock and then immediately take it out on the trail and do some cool things. It looks like they're coming out with 33s. They're coming out with, you know, overlanding features and off-road features. And, you know, we've seen that before with the TRD off-roads, but seeing that they come with sliders, seeing that they come with skid plates, I like seeing that stuff from Toyota. So I'm curious if we can see one in person. And definitely if I get an opportunity, I will definitely, you know, whether it's go to a dealership or if someone picks one up early or whatever it may be, if I see one, I'm definitely going to take some videos and report on it and see what kind of cool things are going on with the truck. Now, the $1 million question, is Dirtnation going to get the new 4th gen 2024 Toyota Tacoma? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe yes. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll definitely do it. My issue right now is that I have a ton of vehicles. Right now I have four trucks, and there's a bunch also with roommates and other people that are always at the house, and I don't have a lot of space for vehicles. Plus, I'm not going to sell the 3rd gen. I mean, if I did sell the 3rd gen, I at this point I would not sell the 3rd gen. Maybe down the line, I really don't know. I just paid that truck off, so to sit and turn around and sell that truck, because that truck just went from a liability to now an asset. That is a truck that I own. It's worth money. That's been my daily driver for years. It's built. Yes, it's beat up, but it is built. It's my truck, and I've had it for years. So I don't know if I would sell my 3rd gen, but having a 3rd gen and a 4th gen to compare to each other while building a 4th gen on the channel, I think would be really cool. If it's something that I could work out, I might have to sell a couple trucks, maybe sell Bruceberry and sell the Ford, and then go out and get a Tacoma, and then I'd just be running with 3 Toyotas. We'd have to see. We'd really have to see how it goes. Looking at it, I'm curious with some of the technological features and some of the interior stuff on the trucks. I'm curious what options are available for what models, because, you know, coming from a TRD off-road, my first look is at, let's look at the TRD off-road and what's available, because it comes with basic Bilstein suspension. I'm probably going to change the suspension anyways. So I'm not interested in Fox shocks. I'm not necessarily interested in Old Man Emu suspension unless I'm keeping the vehicle stock. If I'm keeping it stock, then I think the Trail Hunter series would be a cool vehicle. It's something that I'll definitely consider if I can get the Trail Hunter series with, you know, the hybrid and all that stuff, like fully loaded vehicle, keep it stock and see how far it can go, what kind of things it could do. I think that'd be cool. But baseline, you know, much like what I did with the 2017 Tacoma, looking at the TRD off-road because that is the one that you might be able to build for the future. But I'm curious about the options that are going to be available on it. Does it going to come with all the skid plates? Is it going to come with sliders? Can you get it with the metal steel bumper? Can you get it with all the interior upgrades? You know, I definitely would want to have that big honking display screen. You know, there's a lot of cool things that we're seeing with the new Tacomas, but I'm curious what models come with what. So we'll have to see that down the future. And then we're also going to have to see the prices on them because I'm going to be honest with you, paying $60,000, $70,000 for a mid-size truck seems crazy at this point because 5 years ago, that wasn't the case. 5 years ago, you could pick up a Tacoma for $30,000, $40,000. So seeing them get so expensive is crazy. So I'm going to have to see what kind of prices we're working with here. New Tacoma looks pretty cool. I think it's promising in a lot of ways. I have my concerns with it. I'm curious what kind of more news, pricing, and what other things are coming in the future. So we'll definitely have updates on that when it comes out. Now, my question for you guys is, first of all, what do you think of the new Tacoma? Tell me what you think about the build, how it looks, some of the features. If you were to get one, which one would you be looking at? And then finally, if you were to see Dirt Nation Off-Road pick up the new 2024 Tacoma, what would you guys like to see me do on this YouTube channel? You know how I drive. You know how I am on my vehicles. To be honest, one of the things that concerns me about getting one of these is the fact that I don't know how to take care of anything. Everything I own gets destroyed because I can't help myself. If I were to get a new Tacoma, I would definitely beat the living shit out of it. And that's just a habit of mine. Although I should probably take care of it if I were to get a new one. Once again, I'm rambling. Comment below. Let us know what you think about the new 2024 Tacoma. That is going to be it for the first look at the brand new 4th gen Tacoma. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to channels, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Patreon. You also see for shirts, hats, hoodies, and all those other goodies. Dirt Nation Off-Road, BigCartel.com. Until next time, thank you guys. Let's get it.